students, welcome back to our next class. In the previous class, we have studied the definitions of SQC and the different types of control charts. So one among the control charts is the control charts for mean. So today we will see how we will construct the control limits for the mean chart. So if you have k samples, each of size n. So suppose if you have k samples, so in each sample you have n observations. All the samples will be containing same number of observations, that is, here it is a sample number, that means total you will have k samples. In k samples you will have n number of observations. For this, each and every sample we will be calculating the sample mean and range and also the standard deviation. So sample mean is denoted with x bar, as it is a sample mean for first sample. I will be writing x1 bar, and similarly for all the k samples I will find the sample mean. Similarly, I will find the range for all the k samples and the standard deviation for all the k samples. Now we will see what are the formulas for sample mean, range and standard deviation. So you all know that sample mean is denoted with x bar. So for the ith sample, the mean is given as xi bar equals to 1 by, there are totally n observations in a sample. So 1 by n summation j equals to 1 to n xij. So this is the sample mean. Next, sample range. Sample range, the range is nothing but the difference between the maximum value and the minimum value. So the rth range Ri is given as Ri equals to maximum of xij minus minimum of xij. So this is the formula for sample range. Next, sample standard deviation or sample variance. So sample variance, it is denoted with S square. The formula for S square is 1 by n summation j equals to 1 to n xij minus xi bar whole square. So if you are calculating variance for the first sample, you will be considering the mean of the first sample to calculate the sample variance. So for each sample, you will be calculating the mean, range and the variance. After that, you have to calculate the grand mean. So the grand mean is denoted with x double bar. That means whatever the sample means you got, you need to again find the mean for that sample values. That is, there are total k samples, right? So 1 by k summation I equals to 1 to k xi bar. So whatever the sample means you have, you need to find the grand mean for all those sample means. Next, you need to find r bar. So r bar equals to 1 by k summation I equals to 1 to k ri. Whatever the range values you got, you need to find the mean for that range values. And you will get the variance value. From this variance, you can find standard deviation, that is S equals to root over variance. So after that, what will be the sample standard deviation? Sorry, average of standard deviation, S bar equals to 1 by k. So there are totally k samples, so you write 1 by k summation I equals to 1 to k si. Whatever the standard deviations you got in your box, that for that values you need to calculate the mean values. So first you need to calculate the sample means, the sample range and the sample variance. Then after that, you have to calculate the overall mean, which is also known as the grand mean. Next, you have to calculate the R bar and S bar. Now we'll see how to construct the control limits for the mean chart. So control limits, if t is any statistics, the control limits are given as expectation of t plus or minus 3 into standard error of t. So here our statistic is sample mean. So the 3 sigma control limits. So the 3 sigma control limits are given as expectation of x bar plus or minus 3 into standard error of x bar. And we know that always the sample, the expected value of sample mean is mu and variance of sample mean is sigma square by n. And we also know standard deviation or standard error equals to root over variance. Now I want standard error of x bar. So I will do root over variance of x bar. So root of sigma square by n will be sigma by root n. Now I got expectation of x bar value and standard error of x bar value. Substitute these values in the 3 sigma control limits. Now 3 sigma control limits becomes, so expectation of x bar value is mu plus or minus 3 into, what is the standard error value? Sigma by root n. So these are the general control limits for the mean chart. So for the mean chart or any chart, there will be 2 cases. The case 1 where the standards are known. Standards means the parameter values. Here what are the parameter values we have? Mu and sigma. If these values are known, that will be a first case. If the standards are specified. If the standards are specified means if you know the mu and sigma are known. So what are the control limits? Mu plus or minus 3 by root n into sigma. So these are the general control limits. Now I am writing mu plus or minus this value 3 by root n I am considering as a into sigma, since a equals to 3 by root n. So the UCL value becomes UCL equals to mu plus a sigma. The CL value will be mu and the LCL value equals to mu minus a sigma. So these are the control limits when the standards are given. Now we'll see the next case when the standards are unknown. Now we'll see the case 2 where the standards are unknown. That is the mu and sigma values are unknown. So when they are unknown, we need to estimate the parameters. So mu is nothing but the population mean. So population mean can be estimated by using the sample mean. So for sigma, this sigma can be estimated in 2 ways. The first one is by using the sample range. So we'll see the first case where sigma is estimated by using the sample range. So from the sampling distributions, of range we have expectation of range equals to d2 sigma and standard error of range equals to so the expectation of R from the sampling distributions of range is given by d2 sigma. So So expectation of any value is considered as the mean of that value. So expectation of R is nothing but R bar equals to D2 sigma. So from this, how can I estimate sigma? So sigma hat equals to, if the D2 goes that side, it will become R bar by D2. So we have estimated sigma hat equals to R bar by D2 and mu hat equals to X double bar, which is the population or overall mean. Now what are the 3 sigma control limits? The 3 sigma control limits are, so we have mu plus 3 by root n sigma. So we had mu plus or minus 3 by root n sigma. Now this can be written. Now substitute the values of the estimators of mu and sigma. So the estimator of mu is X double bar. So 3 sigma control limits become X double bar plus or minus 3 by root n as it is into what is the sigma hat we have estimated? R bar by D2. So this can be written as X double bar plus, keep R bar to a side and write all the terms to the one side. 3 by root n into D2 as one term into R bar. Now consider this 3 by root n into D2 as capital A2, so that the limits will become X double bar plus or minus A2 R bar, where A2 equals to, what is the value of A2 we have considered? 3 by root n into D2. So now the UCL becomes, UCL equals to X double bar plus A2 R bar, CL equals to X double bar and LCL equals to X double bar minus A2 R bar. So if we are using the sample range to estimate the sigma value, the 3 sigma control limits are these values. Now we will see the second case where we will use the sample standard deviation. Now we will see the second case for estimating the standard deviation, where you will use the sample standard deviation. So from the sampling distributions of standard deviation, we have expectation of S equals to C2 sigma. So as we discussed in the before case also, expected value of something, expected value of any value is nothing but it's your mean or average value. So expectation of S can be written as S bar equals to C2 sigma. So from this, how can I estimate the sigma value? Sigma hat equals to, if this C2 comes to this side, it will be dividing. So S bar by C2. So if we use the sampling distribution of standard deviation, we got the estimated value of sigma equals to S bar by C2, and as usual mu hat, that is mu can be estimated by using the overall mean or the grand mean, that is nothing but X double bar. Now you have both mu hat and sigma hat. Substitute these two values in the 3 sigma control limits. So the 3 sigma control limits are, so what are the 3 sigma control limits we got? Mu plus or minus 3 by root n into sigma. Now substitute the mu value and sigma value. What is the mu value we have estimated? X double bar. So X double bar plus or minus 3 by root n into, what is the sigma value we have estimated? S bar by C2 into S bar by C2. Now consider, keep S bar aside and consider it 3 by root n into C2 as one term. You will get X double bar plus or minus 3 by root n into C2 into S bar. So similarly, we need to assume this value 3 by root n into C2 as A1. So that we will get x double bar plus or minus, this I am considering as A1. So A1 into S bar as it is. So where, what is the A1 value? A1 equals to 3 by root n into C2. So these are the control limits by using the sample standard deviation. Now what will be the UCL value? So UCL we are constructing for x bar. So we will write UCL x bar equals to x double bar plus, so if you take the plus you will get the upper control limit, plus A1 S bar. Next CL equals to x double bar. Next LCL equals to x double bar minus A1 S bar. So till now we have assumed the values of A, A1 and A2. So in the construction of mean chart, we have assumed the values of A, A1 and A2. So these A1, A2 and A values can be obtained from SQC tables. So in previous sems also we had some table values, right? For chi-square, for T distribution, F distribution. Similarly like that, you will have the SQC tables. So in that SQC tables, depending on your n value, that is your sample size. Sample size may be 3, 4, 5, 6. So depending on that sample value, you will get some predefined values of capital A, A1 and A2. So if by substituting those values, you can find the control limits for the X bar chart. Now we will see what is the procedure for constructing the chart. Now we will see what are the steps involved in constructing the chart. So the first step is we need to calculate sample mean. We will calculate the sample mean, sample range and sample standard deviations. So after finding sample mean, range and standard deviation, you have to find the overall mean, that is x double bar, r bar and s bar. So depending on your convenience, if the mu value and sigma value are unknown, whatever is convenient for you, you can use either case 1 or case 2. That is by using r or sigma. That is up to your wish. Next, third step is you need to construct the control limits. So after constructing the control limits, you need to represent them on a graph, that is on an XY plot. On the x-axis, we will be writing the sample number. On the x-axis, we will consider the sample number. So depending on the how many samples you have, you will be writing the sample numbers. And on the y-axis, we will be writing the units. So here, we are considering the mean chart. So for mean chart, we will be plotting the sample mean values. So sample mean values will be plotted on the y-axis. Then you need to plot the UCL, CL and LCL values. So first, draw the UCL. So always the UCL should be a dotted line. And after drawing this dotted line, you need to mention here UCL of X bar. Since we are constructing the UCL of the mean chart, so you will write UCL of X bar. Then next, you will draw the central line. So central line is a horizontal dark line. You have to write CL X bar. Next, you have to draw the lower control limit, that is LCL. Even the LCL is also a dotted line. You have to draw the dotted line and represent here LCL of X bar. So after constructing UCL, CL and LCL values, you have to plot the sample mean values. First we have calculated all the XI bar values, right? All those values should be plotted on your XY plane. So if you observe this, if you join these lines, you will get some graphical representation. Suppose if your graph is in this kind, and if you observe, we need to interpret our values. We need to interpret our process. So this control chart for mean is used to check the process control. So we have to check whether this process is controlled or not. So if you observe the graph, whatever the graph I have drawn, just for the sample purpose, if you observe it, no value is going outside the UCL or below the LCL. If you have a graph like this, then we say that process is under control. We say that process is under statistical control. Since we are using the statistical methods for constructing the control limits and for the checking the production process, if all the values are below UCL and above LCL, then the process is said to be under statistical control. For suppose if I have any value above the UCL, I may get the graph like this, or any value below the LCL. So if I find any value like this, that is above UCL or below LCL, if I find any value, then that process is not under statistical control. Then that process is regarded as not under statistical control. Not under statistical control. And whatever the values which got above the UCL and below the LCL, these values are termed as outliers. These are outside our warning limits. UCL and LCL are called the warning limits, right? So these are outside our warning limits. So these values are called the outliers. So this is the procedure for constructing the sample mean chart. First you need to find out the sample mean, sample range and sample standard deviation. Next you have to find the X double bar, that is grand mean, then mean of all the sample ranges and mean of all the sample standard deviations. After that you have to construct the control limits. For construction of control limits, you will be having two cases. First, case 1 where the mu and sigma values are known, and the case 2 where mu and sigma values are unknown. So when they are X double bar. But for estimating the sigma, again you have two cases. First case is by using the sample range, and the second one is by using the sample standard deviation. For both cases, you will be getting the different control limits. After getting the control limits, you need to plot all the control limits on an XY plane. Then you need to plot all the sample mean values and interpret it. So this is the procedure for construction of control charts for variables. In the next class, we will see the control charts for range.